Multi-time frame analysis. So we've seen all the technical analysis, so basic and how we complement it. Now, what you need to know is that these tools work on any time frame. Okay, so what we're going to see is that you can actually look at things in multiple time frame, and I recommend you to do this. And this is how we will trade it. So, for example, if you see, let's say, a range, okay, on the daily chart. So you've got it like this. It starts to reverse. That's on the daily chart, okay? The daily. If you zoom in into a 4 hours, you will see, so you will have a zoom on this move, okay? And you could see something like this, the double top forming, okay? So then you've got confluences, okay? Multi-time frame. So you're trading a resistance on the daily, but you're also trading a double top on the 4 hours, okay? And then if you look on a smaller time frame, on the 1 hour, for example, you will look at the double top, just like this. And here you will see, so the second top with a nice trend line, and you will see a trend line break. Okay. So yeah, so this is basically each analysis complements another time frame. So let's look at an example here on gold. So X8U USD, that's gold. So let's look at it here. We've got a trend line. Okay, it hasn't got 3 touches yet, but movements are quite strong, so we'll count it. So it's like this. So we can see price, it's at support of the trend line, and is also at support of this. You can see support here, resistance, it's at support, plus a fib level, okay? You can see it there, 50% fib level. So we see this on, that's a weekly time frame. Now let's go down to the daily. Daily, what can we see? We can see a double bottom, which indicates a possible price possibly going back up at a support. Okay. Now let's go to a 4 hour example. And what can we see here? So we've got that double top, okay, that we've seen on the daily, and we can also see a falling wedge now. All right, a nice falling wedge. Let's go to a 2 hour. 1 hour, yes. So now when we look at this falling wedge on the 1 hour, what can we see? Hope you've spotted it. A bullish divergence, okay? The wedge is going down, however, RSI is going up. So there we've got multi-time frame analysis. On the weekly, it tells us to goodbye. On the daily, or 8 hours or 12, it gives us a nice double bottom, which gives us double bottom with divergence as well. Gives us a buy signal. On the 2 hours or 1 hour, what we can see is a falling wedge, which indicates up move as well. So how do we trade it? Well, on the weekly, you could wait for like a bounce and things, but there, because we've got multi-time frame analysis, we can actually trade this when the price breaks that wedge, okay? So whenever price breaks this wedge on gold, I would buy this, put my stop loss under the low, and target. Now my target, I could go back to the daily or 12 hour probably to target either the recent high, so maybe, so that's the resistance really. You could see one touch here and another one here, or we take that MPO, bam, and it will make this level approximately, so we could target here. All right, and so here we've used multi-time frame analysis. So it's really important, multi-time frame analysis, because, for example, you could see something, if you only look at the 1 hour chart, you could see like a wedge or something. But when you look at a bigger time frame, you will see it does not coincide at all. For example, sometimes I see traders, what I mean by that is you need to have a broad view, okay? Let's say on the daily, you've got a lovely trend going like this, okay? Healthy trend with a nice trend line. Okay, so that's the daily. Now, if you look only at this on a 1 hour chart, what will it look like? It will look like exactly like this. Okay, with maybe a nice trend line. So what traders do sometimes, they see this and think, okay, I'm going to short this. It's at the trend line, resistance, maybe some resistance over here as well, fib, all of that. But what they forget to see is that we are here on the daily. So looking at the 1 hour, yes, it looks good for a short, but looking at the daily, it looks like a buy. And what happens? They short and it goes something like this. And they're fucked, all right? Because they didn't look at multi-time frame analysis. So you basically need to find multiple timeframes that all say the same information, okay? For example, you could see on maybe a weekly chart, you see we're on Friday, let's imagine, and you see a lovely doji, okay, like that, close, on a resistance. That's the weekly candle, closes like that, which indicates that next week will probably be bearish, okay? But that's not enough information. Now, you look on the 2 hour chart, and you see a head and shoulders like this. Well, that's double confirmation because the weekly says it's going down, and the 2 hour or 1 hour is forming a head and shoulder, which indicates it's going down as well. That's multi-time frame analysis. What you could do as well for multi-time frame is if you're using the Oranda web trading platform, which is powered by TradingView. As I said, with TradingView, you can have more different charts on the same screen, only if you've got the paid version, okay? Now, if you've got the free version, I told you can use Oranda. Even if you've got like a demo account or something, it works. Okay, so here I'm on Oranda trading platform, which is basically TradingView. You can see it looks the exact same. And so how I manage my charts on here is I put on the top left the daily, okay, 1 day, you can see. On this one, I put the 4 hour, this one, I put the 1 hour, and this one, I put the 5 minutes. So I've got a multi-time frame view on the same screen, so it's really visual, okay? And that's, I use it a lot when, for example, I use it a lot, for example, when I'm about to trade this, I see opportunity on the 1 hour. I'll sometimes go to this screen and look, so that's the 1 hour, you can see the wedge, and basically look at all the time frames, how they look, how they compare, okay? So here, for instance, as I said, we've got daily, the double top. So you can see, and the drawings go on each, on every chart. So you know what's happening. So you've got a double bottom here. Same for there with a support. Okay, support here. That's the 4 hour. Now this is the 1 hour. We've got our wedge here, falling wedge. Okay, so now the 1 hour looks like this, the daily, 4 hour, and now we've got really a broad view, and we can see where the SMA 50 is also, okay? We've seen there, rejected. There, it could act as resistance, like it did here, support. So we know exactly, all right, where the SMA of different time frames are. So there, and that's the 5 minutes, okay? So on the 5 minutes, we could even see a little corrective structure here. Bam. So we could even say when this breaks, I'll enter. So that makes a much way earlier entry. And we've also got that broad view, okay? So that's multi-time frame analysis. So it's really important that you always know what's happening on bigger time frames, also lower time frames, to basically have confidences and to be sure of the movement. You're not having too narrow view of what's happening, okay? So that's multi-time frame analysis.